Tony casually refined a plain gray sword. Unexpectedly, it unleashed a sky-piercing sword aura. Swords within 100 miles bowed in reverence. Even the 4 major sword sects thousands of miles away were shocked. For a moment, it seemed like all swords worshipped him, as if the sword god himself had descended. When the gray sword was fully refined, Tony's cultivation skyrocketed at an unbelievable speed. From being stuck at level 1 as a swordsman for years, he instantly reached an unprecedented level 99. But this extraordinary genius was just a useless man who couldn't cultivate 3 years ago. Despite having a grade 7 spiritual root, he couldn't break through. His fiancée, who deeply loved him, could cultivate but lacked a spiritual root to help her pursue the path of cultivation. He willingly dug out his grade 7 spiritual root and gave it to her, paying the price of shortening his own lifespan. His fiancée was moved to tears. She promised to marry him grandly in 3 years when her spiritual root matured. However, when his grandfather found out, he was furious. Without a spiritual root, Tony had no path left for cultivation. His second uncle's family took the opportunity to suggest expelling him from the family. In the end, only his mother's desperate plea saved him, allowing him to seek the sword tomb to rebuild his spiritual root. Yet, his cousins secretly schemed against him, attacking him at a critical moment and almost causing him to go mad. At the brink of despair, he remembered his father's dying words: if trapped in a hopeless situation, use the gray sword as a substitute for the spiritual root. Clinging to his last hope, he began refining the gray sword. Unexpectedly, it triggered a shocking phenomenon, and his cultivation soared to unimaginable heights. But in a world where level 100 sword god is the peak, Tony reached level 99. As he wondered about everything happening, a mysterious eye appeared in the void, making him realize there was always a higher plane of existence. To avoid attracting attention, he quickly suppressed his cultivation back to level 1 swordsman, planning to keep pretending to be a nobody. After leaving seclusion, his first move was to find his fiancée and fulfill their promise. However, when she saw him still at level 1 after 3 years, she was utterly disappointed. By now, she had reached level 55 as a sword king, and had become a disciple of the top sword emperor. She broke off the engagement without hesitation, telling Tony she was engaged to a wealthy man, and asked him to stop bothering her. Her cold abandonment left Tony heartbroken. When he returned to the family, his grandfather was furious upon learning of Tony's failure over 3 years, and his fiancée's rejection. His cousin seized the chance to suggest expelling him again. Tony was about to reveal his true strength, but saw his mother collapse from the shock. Her old illness had returned. He had no choice but to suppress all emotions, and rushed to find treatment for his mother. But her cold poison had seeped into her body for years. The only cure was the legendary Titan Pill. To make the Titan Pill, he needed rare herbs from the upcoming Qingfeng Academy martial arts tournament. Winning the tournament was the only way to get the materials. But the tournament was extremely dangerous, with countless contestants dying in the arena every year. His mother begged him not to risk his life. Tony agreed on the surface, but in his heart, he had already made up his mind. He not only wanted to save his mother, but also aimed to make a name for himself on the continent. To stabilize his mother's condition, he decided to secretly take a heart-calming fruit from the family estate. But just as he made his move, his aura was detected by the strong cultivators from the 4 sword sects. That overwhelming sword aura reappeared again.